Can you hear me okay? Can everyone hear me okay? I hope you can hear me. Welcome to Etana Office Hours. We are so excited to have you. We have a few people that are already joining in. I'd like to get audio confirmation. So if you can hear me, please let me know in the comments. Yes, Sarah says you can hear me. Hi, Sarah Laru. Lovely to have you here. Can you guys hear me? Please let me know in the comments and make sure I'm not just speaking to myself. Hello, everyone. Let me know, confirm in the comments if you can hear me okay. Okay. Greetings from snowy Finland. Hi, Sarah. It's lovely to have you. Uh, it's great to have everyone. So, welcome to Eternal Office Hours, where we guide you on entering and scaling in the African market. Today, we'll be discussing the African expansion roadmap, specifically how to incorporate, hire, and scale in Africa. So, that's a power packed topic. If you're keen, if you're keenly thinking of starting a business in Africa or scaling your African business across the continent, then you've definitely come to the right place. At the end of this session, you'll be better equipped to do so. This series is brought to you by Itana, Africa's first digital special economic zone. Itana is the ideal business jurisdiction for digital companies and startups seeking a more enabling environment to do business and scale. And you can actually begin your business registration today by going to app.itana.africa. And but if you're not quite ready to register a business yet, but you still want to learn more and connect with other founders, then still head up to app.itana.africa and then you can become a digital resident. Now let's dive into today's session. But it will be great to know where everyone is joining us from. So let me know. You can put your name and let me know your location in the comments so we know where everyone is joining from. We know we have a global audience of people that usually tune in. So let us know your name and where you're joining us from. It'll be great to see that. So diving into today's session, today we have three experts who will be tackling different areas of the African expansion. We have Adetayo Oduwole, who is a business and compliance expert, Bishop Famubade, our advisory and government affairs expert, and Jane Odoodo, a people and culture expert. For today's session, they're going to take you through the different areas, the African business landscape, the talent landscape in Africa, and then the business regulatory landscape. And these experts will take the different sections of this. After they're done with each section, we'll take a little pause so we can take questions and make sure that you're getting all the information that you need. Let's see some of the intros in the comments. We have Muketsi from Botswana. Hello, lovely to have you. We have Benga from Nigeria, and of course, we have Sarah that's joining us from Finland. It's great to have you. We have Joseph also from Nigeria. So let us know where you're joining in from. And for the people that are streaming live, you can also participate and let us leave comments for us as well. Let's get right into it. There is a bit of a deck that was created so they can easily follow along and then ask questions that you have. For the first expert that we have coming on, we have Adetayo. Hi, Tayo. Lovely to have you here.
Hi, hi, Nkechi. It's nice to be on this call and to be able to discuss scaling businesses to Africa once more. It's always an exciting time having people from all over the world joining us to listen to the great opportunities that Nigeria has to offer. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so excited. I'm going to leave Tayo right now. He's going to take us through the section on the um, the business landscape. I'm going to just put this up here and then Tayo, over to you.
Thank you once more, Nkechi. Hi, everyone. It's nice to have everybody join us today. And it's always a good time to speak about scaling your businesses into Africa, especially in Nigeria. And the good thing is, some these workshops are usually recorded, so it's something we can always go back to also listen and then learn from each other. Yes, so today we are looking at Itana, which is Africa's first digital economic zone. I will be talking about the African business landscape. So the first thing we should look at is why should people consider Africa as the next frontier? Actually, Africa is the next frontier, and it is the current frontier for actually trading services and also trading goods. We know that Africa has a very huge population, but not just that. In Africa, we have a very large market which is waiting to be explored. Then, when it comes to strategic partnerships to other continents like Europe, North America, and Asia, Africa is actually at the forefront of those strategic partnerships, which means a lot of people from other countries and other parts of the world can scale into Nigeria, Africa, and especially Nigeria to trade with other countries and other economies all over the world. Now, if you look at the AFTA, which is Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, that is opening up the entire African market. And this includes opening up your businesses to the whole of the world, which means you scale into Nigeria, you can easily do business with other parts of Africa, and not just other parts of Africa, you can easily connect to the rest of the world. And yes, as I said, we have the large market, we have the huge population, educated population that can, and very hardworking population, young population that can easily scale and do business with other parts of the world. Now we have the AGOA, which is the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which makes Africa the new gateway to America itself. And this is an agreement that has been signed and which is still in effect, and which makes businesses in Africa, from whatever country of origin it is, that scale into Africa to easily do business with the United States of America. Now, we mentioned earlier that trading services, trading services is an emerging sector with high possibilities of financial returns, especially looking at the AFTA protocol that is also encouraging trading services. And I'll tell you as we go on, please remember to go on the app, which is app.itana.africa. Looking at Nigeria and doing business in Nigeria, a lot of people always ask this question, how do I do business in Nigeria? Nigeria is a very easy market to do business in, and when it comes to ease of doing business, it's the largest market in Africa. Most companies always want to bring their businesses back into Nigeria or serve the Nigerian market. So it's always better for you to set up in Nigeria, especially in the free zone in Nigeria like Itana, to be able to serve the Nigerian market, and then you scale to other parts of Africa. Now, we have a very huge labor force with high young population of highly educated youth and young adults. Highly educated, ready to work, very hardworking. And you should note that Nigeria was recently declared as Africa's digital champion, which is the digital champion, the champion for trading services, the champion for virtual services, the champion for tech services, the champion for startups in Nigeria and all over Africa. Now, when it comes to ease of doing business, yes, Nigeria has the topmost and at the forefront of ease of doing business. This has been recognized worldwide as one of the countries with the best ease of doing business platform. The other good thing is you scale into Nigeria, you scale into Itana, you can remotely register your business from anywhere in the world without leaving the comfort of your office or of your home. And this is the most effective special economic zone framework in Africa so far. In every area, immigration, customs, ease of doing business, post-registration, registration services, compliance, and regulatory filings. Next. Now let's look at how Itana is supporting companies in Africa to grow. We've supported several companies to grow, and part of what we'll do is we sit down with you, look at your business case, and advise you on the best way to scale your businesses. Now, we have business solutions that allows you register your business remotely, as I mentioned earlier. We have business solutions that allow you remotely operate your business from anywhere in the world. This reduces startup costs. This reduces setup costs. Your capital can actually be preserved to scale up and for your actual operations. Huge cost savings for business setup, making it easier to scale across Africa because we reduce your business setup. It's easy for you to expand your business and to expand your operation space. Business and tax incentives that increases profitability. Yes, you have a lot of tax incentives, a lot of business incentives, including a one-stop shop that caters to all your administrative needs from pre-incorporation, incorporation, and post-incorporation, including immigration, customs, and all other services that you might require. And you have tax incentives, tax exemptions, VAT exemptions, duty exemptions that help your business to increase profitability. Also, we have eliminated a lot of administrative bottlenecks, and we've prioritized ease of doing business straight from the Itana app onto the government websites with proper API integrations that help you properly register and do your post-registration filings. So Itana, as I mentioned earlier, is your best scaling network to move and scale your business into Nigeria and all over Africa from anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Awesome. That was so amazing. Thank you so much, Tayo. I always like hearing Tayo speak. And I feel like he was trying to give a lot of information in such a short period of time. But I hope that was informative. That's the first part of it where we're talking about the business landscape. We're going to have Jane come and talk about the talent landscape, and then Bishop will talk more about the regulatory landscape, right? So that you're able to understand these different aspects of doing business in Africa. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. We can't wait to take the questions that you have, but there are some questions that were already sent to us earlier that I would love for us to take. So someone had asked, I sent a question and asked that he's currently registered and doing business in Nigeria through CAC, and he wants to know how Itana can support him to scale across Africa. That was a question that someone had sent in. So Tayo, you want to take that, and then please put more questions in the comments so that we're able to take it as the session goes along.
Great. Thank you, Nkechi. And thanks for that question. So what we do is you can book a business advisory session with us. The business advisory session is actually free, which is part of the services we render to our prospects. This is an advisory session that would have been paid for, but we ensure that to help your business grow, we make it free and a value added service to you. So you can book a business advisory session. We look at your business case and then we'll advise you how to scale. But just answering generally, you can easily move part of your business or some of your products into Itana. And a lot of people have chosen to actually move their entire business operations into Itana because when they looked at the business case, they looked at the cost benefit analysis, Itana was a better option for them because of the business incentives, the better administrative network, the ease of doing business, the tax exemptions, the immigrations exemptions, and all other value adds that come with you being registered as a free zone enterprise. But if you want a niche advice, I just recommend today that you set up your request for a business advisory session. I'll be ready to come jump on the call with you to take you through the entire process and help your business to scale better.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay, no other questions have come in, but please put your questions in the comments so that we're able to take your questions as we go along. Thank you very much, Tayo. Without further ado, I would love to invite our next guest on, who is someone that I highly respect. If you know talent in Africa, then you must know Jane, because Jane is such a thought leader in that space. She has worked with a lot of international companies that are looking for ways to access the talent market in Africa. And to be honest, I keep saying that African talents give companies a very great competitive advantage, but lots of people don't know how their way around it. So that's why Jane is here. We get that question a lot. People thinking, I want to enter the African market, but I really want to enter to access the talent. What's available to me and how do I do this? So at this point, take your pens out if you haven't already and take notes. So welcome, Jane. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm going to hop off and then leave you to take it from here.
Great. Thank you so much, Nkechi. I hope I am audible. I hope I'm audible. Just a moment. Okay. Right. Maybe Nkechi, you'd help me navigate the slides. Thank you. So I am always excited when I'm called out to speak about the African talent because a lot has changed from, say, 15 years ago with the boom of technology and better infrastructure, remote work, allowing for talents to showcase their skills on the global stage. But some points to note. So yes, like Taya mentioned, Africa is emerging as a global talent powerhouse, driven by a very young workforce. With most of them with most of the 60% of them under the age of 25. So speaking to very vibrant youth, people who are ready to showcase their skill, who are ready to learn, who are ready to prove their worth on the global stage. So a couple of advantages with the talent landscape in Africa, and I will go through four of them. First, with the demographics, I've talked about the young population of Africans, and there is a projection that by 2035, some people say 2035, other people say 2050, but not far from now, that Africa will be the largest workforce in the world because of the number that we have. Next is business process outsourcing and global services. More and more companies abroad in Europe and America, from experience, from what I've seen, are beginning to look to Africa for business process outsourcing, back office operations, the like customer service or IT support, anything that can be done remotely. Africa is becoming the hotspot for that service. There's also growth of remote work and offshoring in that area as well. We also have a very thriving startup ecosystem. Usually, a talent market is only as sophisticated as the market itself. And right now we have a lot of startups in Nigeria and all of Africa doing really great work, coming up with great innovation, and that has triggered the talent pool, the kind of people we have at the talent pool in Africa. Good example of startups that have come up with really great ideas that are making great impact in the global space. From Nigeria is Flutterwave. We also have Jumia. We have the e-commerce platform Andela. We have the tech talent outsourcing. I mean, just lots of companies coming up and thriving in the startup ecosystem. There's also government support. More and more government is offering tax incentives to startup, and that's sort of causing a lot of triggering a lot of positive ripples in the talent space. There we have the Startup Act now in Nigeria. We have innovation hubs. We have lots of seed funding, accelerator programs going on, and all of these startups require talent. So it's really setting the pace and encouraging a lot of growth in the talent space. Sorry, excuse me. There's also the tech and digital skill boom. There's this growing tech ecosystem. Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and Egypt are in the lead in terms of software engineering, fintech solutions, and AI development. We also have global tech hubs in Lagos, Nairobi, Cape Town, Kigali, and Accra, Ghana. They're all emerging as tech hubs, hotspots. And interestingly, we're having more and more STEM graduates from universities, because now universities are seeing that this is a need in the labor market, global labor market. So more focus is more attention is paid towards grooming more STEM graduates and more STEM courses. There are boot camps for those who have graduated but didn't have the opportunity to go through STEM courses. We have boot camps springing up everywhere, coding programs being privately funded and government funded to encourage growth in technology and the like. There's also the rise of special economic zones like Itana to support businesses who want to do business in Africa, so that there is an ease in that area. Next slide, please. Now, what's the competitive advantage of the African talent? Why the African talent? So I've talked about the growing talent pool there. But interestingly is that the angle of the language composition. We have the talent pool is multilingual and culturally diverse. We have many Africans who can speak different languages: Portuguese, French, German, English, of course, speak English very well. Multiple languages, Spanish, and these interests. So companies who are in these markets, operating these markets, can leverage on this, can engage African talents to work with them in their expansion or their solidification in those markets. Then there is the remote work and digital readiness, and all of this has been helped or propelled by an increase in internet infrastructure. So the internet penetration from 25% in 2019 is now 40% in 2023 and growing now in 2025. So more and more there is great internet penetration, allowing for ease with remote work across the globe with the African talent. This is a part everyone likes. Hiring African talents, cost effectiveness without compromising quality. And the reason is simple. The cost of living here in Africa is not as high in comparison with America, with Europe, and the other parts of the world. So you can get really good talent here who are working from Africa for companies abroad at a comparatively lower cost, which is an advantage to most businesses. Then there's resilience and adaptability. African talents have proven to have a track record of innovation, problem solving, and thriving in dynamic environments. There's also the speed with learning. A typical African talent is one who you would give a challenge on Friday, and he or she will say, "I'm going to give you a result by Monday." So even if they've never done that, they will do everything to find a way around it. Like, talents in Africa are known for finding a way around challenges and finding ways to innovative solutions. There's also the time zone advantage. African time zones align favorably with Europe and North America, enabling seamless remote collaborations. Next slide. Success stories. Great. So more and more we're seeing cross-border talent programs, and some of these talent programs are programs that I have personally been involved in. So speaking from a hands-on perspective, we have the IOM Match project, which ran between 2020 to 2022, where the European government is a European government sponsored program to hire smart ICT professionals from Nigeria and Senegal to work in Belgium, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. And the only reason why they looked to Africa for this was because of the competitive advantage that the talent workforce has. There's also the Digital Explorers program, which is also EU funded. It started in 2019, and the goal was the same. The goal was to fill the talent shortage gap with the aging population in Europe. There was a pilot program done with Lithuania, which was super successful. And then there is a second batch of the program running currently now, covering to provide talents in countries such as Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. And the talent pool being considered is Nigeria, Kenya, and Armenia. And the program has been quite successful. We have data analysts, back-end engineers, front-end engineers who are being matched, upskilled and matched with companies in those countries. Next is there is BP and outsourcing growth. Examples are with Telesoftas, Lithuania. So as an outcome from the Digital Explorers program in 2019, one of the companies, Telesoftas Lithuania, hired the most African talents and had a good experience with the talents and decided to set up shop in Nigeria, and that has been growing since then. We also have Aki CGI Ukraine. Aki CGI Ukraine is a 3D modeling firm. They specialize in CGI, computer generated imagery. They also have a talent shortage with their workforce, considering the the political climate over there, the war going on, and they looked to Nigeria to increase their team. They started off hiring in Nigeria last year, specifically in August of 2024. They have a goal to hire up to 100 employees in Nigeria to serve their many clients in America. And right now, they have run 3 batches of hiring, 3 batches of 12 each. So they currently have already run 2 batches. They have 24 employees from Nigeria now, and they're on their third batch to make it 48, and they will keep doing that till it is 100. So we have companies like that who have seen an advantage with working with African talents and are really drilling into it and taking great advantage of it. Next is we have corporate investments coming in as well. So, still back on the slide. We still have multinationals such as Google, Microsoft, and AWS investing in African talent and creating global centers of excellence. So that's a good testament that there is something here, something interesting going on here with the talent landscape. Then we have international startups who have scaled with African talents. Speaking of Flutterwave, they were established in 2016 with their headquarters in San Francisco, and they operate in numerous African countries, including Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. Okay, so and then there is Andela, all right, and then Kobo 360 and Cora. Okay, cheers, signifying my time is almost up. This is the last slide. So summary, why look to Africa? We have access to a large, young, and skilled workforce. Next is there's cost effectiveness without compromising quality if you hire African talents. And then the third is there are remote work capabilities in digital transformation, enabling smooth work with African talents. Also, we have the backing of the government, so growing government and private sector support for workforce development. This is it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jane. That's so informative. We already have some questions lined up for you. Let's take the first question here. It's from Winga. He said, "Hello, Jane. If my business wanted to put talent on the market, how do you think we should go about getting these talents to trust us and big organizations to hire them through us?"
So first off, so this question has a two-pronged. Well, I see two questions in one here. So first, to get the talents to trust you, I will give an example. I know that when Telesofters wanted to come into Nigeria to do business here and hire here, even CGI, I think they did the same thing as well. They held, if you're looking to hire many talents here, one good thing to do is to introduce yourself to the talent communities. For instance, with Telesofters, did introductions to the developer communities because they were going to be sustainable pipelines for them. So that's a good thing to do. Another good thing to do is to work with a local HR who understands the dynamics, the local dynamics, a local HR who is already trusted by these talents, who have access to these communities. That will be an easier plug. So that's one good thing to do. And the next thing that you can do is in a lot of engagements during your hiring process, online engagements with the talents, prospective talent communities that will help in boosting your brand and creating trust. In the next one, how do you think we should go about getting these talents to trust us? Okay, think about adding big organizations to hire them through us. Right, so success stories. So getting organizations to trust you to hire them through us is with your first batch of hire, tell the story every stage of the journey, from the onboarding to what's going on. So the organization see, hey, there's no difference between these talents and talents back home there in terms of quality. Put them forward as thought leaders, especially the first batch of hires, put them forward as thought leaders, so that your clients also hear and know that, oh, these talents are intelligent, they are smart, they are comparatively competitive in terms of scale, and then more and more engagement. Okay, so
Awesome.
hope
Thank you
that
so much. I hope that answers that. So it's interesting because we had a founder who he had all of his staff in the US and in Europe, and he had no exposure to African talent. He came over to Nigeria on a trip that we designed for him, and he got to engage with some of the people here. And he realized that these people are really, really smart. So he wanted to test what the talent quality is like. So he hired a few people from the Nigerian talent pool, and he got to see that these people are really smart, they are really driven, they are hardworking, and now the majority of hire in his company are actually from Nigeria, and I think that's something that is really really interesting. But we need more stories of that. People need to be able to see people that have done this and what that experience was like. We'll take one more question for you before we move on to Bishop. So this question is from Sarah. She says, "Can you share more on the Digital Explorers program?" So you give her like an overview so she can get that information.
Okay, great. So the Digital Explorers program, EU-funded program, and the goal is to solve for talent shortages and create legal immigration pathways for Africans into Europe. So specifically for the second phase of the program, the talent skill focus areas were data analysts, back-end engineers, front-end engineers. And so this there was an upskilling program that happened with Turing College, where the selected data analysts had to go through a 6 months program with Turing College, following which they were matched with partner companies who came on board as host employers in Europe. So the some of the talents were relocated to Europe to work with the companies. Some were matched with local companies in their home country. Others were matched with companies who they worked remotely with in Europe. So, and there are two tracks of the program. There is the internship track and the professional track. So the internship track, the matching happens for 5 to 6 months, and the professional track is a full-time employment with the company. Another component of the program is, because it's EU funded, part of the remuneration of the explorers, we call them the explorers, were paid by the EU government, and the host employer is expected to also contribute a part of the stipend during the program duration.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that answers your question, Sarah. And you can always reach out to Jane. I think I'll put her details in the chat so you can always reach out to her. Thank you so much, Jane, for taking us through that. That has been a very informative session. Next, we're going to have Bishop Famubode join us on stage. He's going to talk more about the regulatory landscape. Hi, Bishop. How are you doing? His name is Victor, but we all call him Bishop. Hi, Bishop. How are you doing? It's great to have you here.
Yeah, hi Nkechi, hi everyone. It's great to be here, and it's a pleasure to actually be here to discuss more on expanding into Africa. All right.
Awesome. So I'm going to leave you on. I'm going to add this over here. And if you have questions as the session goes on, please put it in the comments. Like I said, we're going to take it and we're going to take more questions at the end as well. So please keep putting your questions. Off to you, Bishop.
All right. Again, thank you very much, Nkechi, and I'll be walking us quickly through the business regulatory landscape as it is when you're considering coming into Africa and even into Nigeria to do business. Please, next slide. Okay. For like every other jurisdiction or every other continent, one thing that is key is being able to understand what the business regulations entail, especially when you're coming to set up shop within that particular jurisdiction. And a major part is the considerations or business regulations generally. So, from our own perspective, we see from a place of you having a clear understanding of local regulations, and this, this actually catches the breath from both the federal, the state, and even the local, the local government regulations. These are actually very important because it helps you to properly understand what you need to do per time, and that actually sort of affects your business, or the sort of the license that you probably require if needed to do business within that particular sector. Also, you have to be able to develop an effective plan towards compliance, especially knowing fully well that yes, I've read this, I've understood this. So how do I ensure that I can comply with this regulation, and not just compliance alone, but the compliance needs to be in linkages with your business model, because you also don't want to create a place where you're just setting along the lines of just creating compliance structures that don't necessarily interface with your business model. So you want to be able to identify those areas and then put the right compliance mechanism that's going to be required for you to properly comply based on the business that you entail to do within Africa. Also, embed a regulatory compliance culture. This is very important, either from the seed stage of you starting, if for instance, you're an early stage startup or you are within the seed stage. It's very important that from the beginning, you have to be able to embed that culture, because it keeps you up to speed and you clearly understand, what you're needing per time. And beyond that is also, as you grow, you also understand what the regulatory requirements would mean, because at that point in time, you've already embedded that culture. It's no more new to you, and you'll be able to, just plug in and and ensure that you can comply as you proceed. Importantly, is to stay up to date with emerging policy trends. Is also very important because there's so much that is happening within the policy landscape. And this range from either from a place of fiscal responsibilities that you are required to comply to as a business, or even the place where you're even expected to take places like maybe let's say data protection, and all of these other areas that sort of affect your business. So it's important to stay up to date, understand what are those key things or those key elements that are being put forward, either from a place of a legislation, or from a place of a regulation, or even it could just be from a place of maybe just guidelines that affect the kind of business that you operate within. Important is to also leverage support networks and infrastructure. A good example is the communities, right? And business communities like the one we have here at Etana. Etana already has something that can enable you to plug in, have access to professionals and partners and every form of key players or stakeholders within the ecosystem that can support you as you continue to stay ahead when it comes to complying with business regulations. And what you intend to enjoy at the end of the day are like you have key outcomes. One of those includes like you have an enhanced business and operational performance across every life cycle of the business. Either you are one that is product led or you are one that is service led. And that's what helps you, because even as much as possible, investors will have confidence within being able to put in money within your business and ensure that you can grow as you continue. Secondly is credibility and trust with customers, investors, and other stakeholders. Like I've touched on the part around investors. Importantly is also stakeholders, is also customers. Every customer wants to be able to ensure that when they when they do a transaction with you, they have that trust, and they understand that you are credible enough to comply with certain kind of regulations that are required as a business. And overall, you also a key outcome is growth, stability, and sustainability. And as you continue to move, as you continue to grow the business, you would see that as much as you are able to, comply with all of these regulations within the local jurisdiction, it also enables you to stay ahead, and also you can make the business sustainable. Now, reimagining policy and ease of doing business with Itana. Taya had already done like a great job around talking about the one-stop shop platform. And that's one of the key things that you would enjoy, basically, because what we've done is we've seen that businesses a lot of times would require a place where they can do all these activities, coming from tax filings to even to doing immigration or business visas or banking and all of this. So it just enables you to be able to do that from a particular platform. You also is also a place where we've also from Itana, we've we've established a very strong partnership with government, because we know that there's no way we will do this without government support. So one of the key things that we've done in terms of reimagining policy is have that strong partnership across different government agencies, and so that we are able to actually deliver some of the best services to you. And also you'll be able to access like both government and professional services. That's one of the key things that where we've been able to build over time, because we believe that this is a very strong aspect of the business, where you as a business provider, or you as a business owner, you are able to actually access all of these services as you continue to grow your business. Also, based on we reimagining policy, we've reduced the barriers of entry, so that you can enjoy certain business incentives, ranging from tax incentives even down to other non-fiscal incentives, such as immigration and others. And then we've also ensured that we've created an ecosystem where we can support you in setting up your business, based on the kind of advisory network and support that we have within Itana. All right, next slide. Yes, and our businesses are benefiting from doing business in Itana. There's a whole of benefits that we have in Itana, and few of those are those that are just we have on this particular page. One is you are able to remotely incorporate and operate your business, so you can register your business through that one-stop shop platform, through the application, which I think we would also show you how you would do that. Just you being able to sign up, and then you can put in the necessary details that are required for you to start the process. Importantly, are tax benefits. So you enjoy tax benefits ranging from CIT, that's corporate income tax, to value added tax, which are key benefits that generally free zones in Nigeria also enjoy. You also enjoy immigration benefits. So there are exemptions that you get from expatriate quota. And expatriate quota are actually normal practice within what you call the customs territory. So customs territory are just is what you call the mainland Nigeria. And then you enjoy it from a free zone perspective. You enjoy this expatriate quota, so you don't necessarily need to submit for applications for quota. You will get this without having this quota. And then there's the easy process to obtaining this Nigerian visa and work permit. So we do all of this from the comfort, especially from the comfort of wherever you are, and then we help you to fast track this process. You're also able to transact in foreign currency, so you can earn revenue in any currency of your choice, either dollars or euros or pounds, and even in naira. So you can actually do all of these transactions in any foreign currency of your choice. Importantly, is you're also able to access various business and professional services. And that's one of the key things that we also ensure that we enable businesses to do. We know that as a business, you want to be able to access different kinds of services, ranging from legal services to hiring, to payroll, to market entry. If you're still trying to, you're still at the stealth mode of your business, even to notarization, when you want to notarize some of this key documentation that you require for things like licensing and all of those. So those are like key things that you would have benefit to access. And as Tayo mentioned earlier, there's already the existing advisory support that we give It's there's the free package where we offer that right for you, where you don't need to spend out of your purse for that purpose. But depending on what kind of request you need, there might be a need for you to also get in touch with maybe like an hiring personnel, which we have, that we can introduce you, and that would help you to ensure that you have your business up and running. Also, you are able to open a business bank account, so you can easily set up a business bank account, and you, for both your local and international operations, we have very strong business banking partners that can ensure that you can stay up to speed when it comes to you opening your business, having a business bank account. And also importantly is that one of the key benefits of you operating within Etana is that you have 100% foreign ownership. So when you register, that's the good thing about the free zone setup. It allows for the 100% foreign ownership of your business, and those are like some of the key benefits that within Etana you tend to enjoy. And just to add, some of the businesses or some of the companies that are already operating within Etana, they've been enjoying some of these benefits as they continue to operate. We've seen, for instance, when you want to incorporate your business, we've seen places where you incorporate within 2 to 3 weeks. And those are like some of the advantages you have within Etana, being able to access some of these key benefits as you move along within Etana. So we'll look forward to having you in Etana. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer some of them. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's great to hear that. It's great to learn all the benefits that's available. Usually, when we share this, people are surprised because there's not enough understanding about special economic zones and how they operate. And Itana being the first digital special economic zone, we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of people who are trying to understand not only what Itana is, what the benefit is, but how they can make it relevant to themselves as a business. So thank you so much for taking us through that. I'm going to add all our experts back on stage so that we can take the questions that are coming in. Hello, hello. I'm about to add Tayo on stage. Let's see. Yeah, awesome. So if everyone can hear me okay. So we have some questions that were sent in earlier. I'm going to read out some of them. And then if you have more questions, please put it in the comments so that we can easily take those questions that you have. So here's a question that was sent in. Says, what is the registration process for a business to set up in Itana? I don't think we've gone over the registration process. So, people have gotten to hear about what Itana is, but what exactly is the process? Who wants to take that? Bishop, you want to take that?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is the registration process is pretty straightforward. You can do the first stage of the registration process via the application. So you can visit app.itana.africa. I'm also going to show you briefly how you can access that. And the idea is you're going to be asked key questions from the application, where you would require to fill in the information about yourself, about the business, what kind of business are you trying to also register. Importantly is there are key information like who's the director of this company, and also the shareholding structure. And these are things that you're expected to actually sort of figure this out, right, as you try to register. But the good thing is we're always here to support, to help you think through how you want to set up, especially if you don't have like an existing idea of what that would look like. And then when you have all of this, you go ahead to register and you make your payments, which is $2,000 for the which actually gives you access to the certificate of registration and also a license that is actually valid for a year. So yeah, and there are key documentations that you would require to send in. And this documentation includes things like the MEMAT, legal incorporation documents, a business plan. The good thing again, the advisory support team will actually help you throughout, ensuring that you can put all of these things together. And there are actually good templates that gives you direction on what to do part-time, and what you will need in terms of content, and ensuring that you get the right support that is needed as you proceed with your registration.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I'm happy that you're going to do a live walkthrough so that it's easy for people to follow along and just understand it a bit better. This is another question that has been sent in. Said, what if I already have a company registered in CAC? Can I still register in Itana and enjoy the benefits? There's some people that are streaming from other platforms. So I'm checking the questions that are coming in from there. So this is a question that came in. Tayo, do you want to take that?
Yes, please. Thanks, Nkechi. Yes, so if you're registered under CAC, you could also register your business in Itana. The only difference is that you would be operating the business exclusive of your operations under CAC, which means you'll have a different books. You keep your books separately from what you have under CAC. Now, what we've advised people is just set up a business meeting with us. We can look at your business structure and we can help you properly scale and properly advise you on how to operate under the Itana administrative regime. Yes, if you have your business registered under CAC, you most times have different products. And what people have done in the past is some have actually moved their business entirely into Itana to be registered under Itana because at the end of the day they realize the value adds and the business propositions that Itana actually offers. So as I said earlier on, you can set up a business advisory meeting with us and would properly be able to advise you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have just about 8 minutes, and I really want to give time for Bishop to do the walkthrough. So, Bishop, I'm going to hand it off to you in a minute. I'm going to hand it off to you, and I'm going to put the link in the chat so people can easily follow along the process and see what it's like. Because sometimes when you say something, you feel so theoretical. Sometimes it needs you to show people how the setup is and how easy it is. So I'm putting the link here. And for the people that start the business registration process with us, if you're able to start it today during this live session or just right afterwards, we'll be able to set up a private session for you with our business advisory team and our experts to be able to just guide you through. Because lots of the time we find that we want to build an advantage for the context of your business, and understanding that is really, really important. So, Bishop, I'm going to leave you to share your screen. Can you do that? And then I will hop off stage. Can you put
All
that
right.
up?
Yes, I should be able to do it. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
We can, but it's saying your browser has not been updated to the newest version.
Ah, okay. Um, What about now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So again, like I mentioned, it's quite straightforward. I mean, for this, you can, as a new entry user, you definitely need to create a new account. But because of time, we'll just go straight. And to create a new account is just your name, key details, your email, password, and voila, you're open and you can set up. You can also sign in through Google or your LinkedIn. But because of this time, I'll just go straight using Bishop at Eternal. So I'll use my email address, and then um, I'll plug in my password. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, well, when you log in, or after you've registered, or after you've completed the setup, you definitely have your profile. So you have your profile set up. It's well personalized. And then by the left hand side, you can complete, your profile setup. right? And you can go to the home screen, which is where we currently are. You go to the business, page where you can actually start your application. And what you'll see are some of the key incentives, what the benefits break down. So you can read through all of these benefits and key aspects that I might have not covered, right? So you will go through that and what the application process looks like. You can also come to the community. Remember, during my presentation, I talked about the need for the community, especially if you want to stay up to speed when you're looking at regulatory compliance. So there are key aspects you can, come to. You can apply through here. You can go to the page where you apply for visa. You can book a business advisory where you have experts that will attend to you. You can explore more parts around the community, and then list on marketplace. So let's come to the marketplace. The marketplace is for service providers that offer services ranging from legal and authorization, banking, payroll, human resources, and all of that. So you can also access this marketplace. And then there's the visa processing bits, especially for expatriates that are within your business. And even if you want to secure business visas, you can also use this to access some of these things. And then there is the banking, and through here, it's still something that is being done where you actually you can have access to debit cards. We would also introduce you to our partners, and then you can also have access to things like multi-currency accounts and all of that. So let's go back to the business page where you can start the application. So from here, you click on Start Application. Let's choose a name. So for purpose of this, I will choose Bishop FZE. Good thing is, you can see it's available. Immediately tells you if it's available or not. Your relationship with company. I'm a founder for purpose of this. So there are different ways which one you can pick. If you're a manager with the company, you can also pick that. So I'll just choose co-founder because it's Bishop. Why not? Company industry, for purpose of this, let me just choose financial technology business. Bishop is XXX. So you can describe what it is from this place, and then you include the websites of your company, right? So let me just put this, and then so it's optional, right? I know there's some businesses that might not maybe have a website yet, but just for virtue of this, let's try to so it also gives you that prompt to show that whether it's correct or not. So it gives you time to maybe go and cross check again. So yes, it's correct. So there are recommended payments, right? So a total in everything is $2,000. So there's this 1,850, which captures like the key aspects around what you're expected to pay, right? And then there is the part where it speaks to $150, which is supposed to be for the office space. So now the good thing is that $150 captures like an address for you, where you can actually, because you get an address at the end of the day, where you can also use for using it for your basically for your address when you are discussing with clients or partners that are required to send in mails to you, and then we help you manage all of that when they send it to us. So and then you can proceed to payments. You can proceed to payments and all of that, right? But for purpose of this, so after you proceed to payments, just wanted to touch on this, right? So if you are a digital resident, right, because for my accounts, I'm actually shown as a digital resident also. So you'll have a $150 knockoff from the $2,000. But if not, you have to pay like the $2,000. So when you see $2,000 on yours, just know that you are not a digital resident with Etana yet. And here you come to, you can also exit the application. And you can also check for shareholders. You put in your board of directors, your principal officers. So principal officers here are members of the management, or even other kind of employees that are key also to the business. And then your share capital, and then you can review your application afterwards and finally submit. So that's basically the key aspects that you would see. Because of time, we're also trying to manage all of this. So you can do all of this while you are on the app. So yes, please do make sure that you visit the app, and then you can actually commence the registration of your business. So as you're saying, I've come back to the business page, the business homepage. You can say I can also go back at any point in time to resume my application and finish this online application. So yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know we're at time, but basically, you can see how simple it is. You did that in about 5-7 minutes, and it's really, really seamless for people to start and complete the process. But if you need additional support, again, we're happy to support you through all of that. But it really, really is straightforward. We see the Tana app as your passport to set up a business entity and to be able to access key services to help your business scale. Uh, I know some people are sending me questions, but because of time, I won't be able to take them. But I just want to say a big thank you to all of our experts. Thank you so much, Jane. Thank you so much, Bishop. Thank you so much, Tayo. It's been a great pleasure having you all here and having you contribute greatly to this. I hope it's been very informative to everyone that is here. If you have questions, feel free to send it to us. You can send it to me. I'll put my email and the comments. So please feel free to send. And then if you start the process, for people that start the process today, we'll set up a private session for you with our experts. But thank you so much for taking out the time. It's been a pleasure having all of you here. Feel free to put some hearts or some waves in the comments if this has been valuable to you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.